The name Fanta, I thought that was pretty cool, is named after fantasy. The fantasy that I guess all of the Nazis were living. They sponsored it, which I thought was pretty interesting. They were advertising alongside swastikas at the same time.
Coca-Cola later claimed it had no connection to Nazi Germany.
That's American capitalism at its finest. Once Pearl Harbor hit, they removed Coke, so they had to come up with another alternative. And that's when Fanta really came around.
Dark fantasy.
Kind of was a fantasy, if you think about it.
No, I hope not.
Yeah. Have yourself an ice cold Coca-Cola. Sponsored by Fanta as well. I got to say, to start this episode, I love technology. How do you feel about technology, David? Especially technology that works.
After what we just went through.
Just massive technical difficulties.
It's just a few, just a little bit.
Just slightly. You want to record an app for all of our fans, but we're just going back and forth and griping at each other about tech not working and audio not on or this thing's not working. But everyone can be very pleased to see right now that David still has his beautiful room that he's in. Clearly, it is real.
Clearly, my head is like part of my background.
Speaking of technology, recently I decided that I think I'm not really into Apple that much anymore.
Oh yeah,
kind of crazy to say. I don't know. I love all their products, but I got to admit they're not really keeping up in the AI world that they need to be staying on top of. When's the last time you've used Siri? That's a great example.
I don't think I've ever really used Siri. Have you used Siri?
I do use it. I do. The other day, I mainly use it to like do basic things on the phone. Hey, set a timer for this. Hey, do this. And then I asked the other day, like, oh, hey, what's this like? I forget what I asked. I was like, what's that island called off of the coast of Australia or something? And it couldn't give me a response. It just gave me a list of like Google results, basically, that I could click on and go into and read about what my answer was, as opposed to just telling me.
Just giving you the answer.
Yeah, you guys are falling behind.
Okay.
Mr. Tim Cook.
Clunky.
Yeah, Tim Cook. I think Mr. Steve Jobs would be rolling over in his grave right now, seeing what you're doing with AI. It's not much. It's not much. They've been working on something called like Apple Intelligence. If you've seen that around.
Yeah.
It's like their version.
Okay. So is it like Siri but enhanced?
Exactly.
Okay.
And it's not good. And everyone's pretty disappointed with it.
I see.
I as well.
But
today we are here, you and me, once again.
Right. We've made it.
We made it back. We've had quite the journey getting this off the ground. As we build this podcast, it's been a lot of fun working with editors and graphic designers and trying to understand this whole content world. And it'll get better, people. Don't worry. Right now, it's not that great.
Learning it as we go, right?
Yeah. At least giving it a shot,
more,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think our fans, we owe it to them to give them some sort of level of production quality. Yes, this is true. But yeah, so today we'll be talking about different things, obviously. But right now, I kind of want to dive into an article, actually, I found the other day. I think it could be pretty interesting to talk on. Something that kind of connects to our last episode a little bit of the really weird economic times that we've been in. And I just tried to open it and I got what's going on with these news websites now where you get stuff like this. Look, you want to read some really cool news, but you get one of these.
Oh, yes. So what do you do?
Unlimited access, special introductory offer, cancel anytime. You can do $1.49 today. How about not at all? And I can just open this. Well, anyway, it was a really good article I was going to talk on. I thought it was interesting. I know a bit about what it's around. Let me move this back here. Yeah. So apparently soon, if you want to buy a home, I think it's just in the US right now, a lot of the banks and financing institutions are going to start allowing you to essentially put up your Bitcoin as collateral to take out a loan, a mortgage, to buy a home.
Right, I see. Okay. It's like it's whatchamacallit of like gold, right? store of value.
It is, yeah, it is a store of value, but now that it's entering like the real world, that's what I think is interesting, where traditional banks that are very suit and tie and you got to follow the traditional ways of doing things are now introducing something that some people still see as very speculative, but now it can be held as a collateral basically against the home that you're trying to purchase.
Yeah, no, that is interesting to think. Yeah, like I remember when Bitcoin kind of first came out, I was walking in the mall, we were leaving, and I look over and there was a Bitcoin machine, and I had heard about it, but I didn't know much about it. It was very like, I think we were talking about this before, it was very speculative. And at that time, I think it was like 800 a coin, and now it's like 100 and, yeah, what is it, 100, 120, something like that. So yeah, it's definitely, and that was maybe 8 years ago, something like that.
Oh my God. Can you imagine like $800 Bitcoin? Imagine getting Bitcoin at 800 and you held it from, what'd you say? When did you see that? At what year?
27, I would say 2017, 2018, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but holding it through all of those turbulent times where it's up, it's down, you got the United States government saying,
yeah.
yeah, it's
I don't think,
for scammers only.
right. Yeah, no, it wasn't really known around that time too much. You know what I mean? Like you'd heard about it, but it wasn't like where it sounds like now they're really, people are using it, like you said, in the real world, from this like digital
Right.
world. It's crazy. Everything's kind of like coming into like together with the,
it's changing.
right?
It's the institutions are in,
Definitely
you got the
changed.
governments in, and you got people building treasuries, and you got all of these. Yeah, the real world is accepting it more and more. And now you have ETFs. That's one of the biggest things because ETFs now are basically for all normies that don't know and don't want to touch crypto. They're scared of it. It's scammy. But now they can buy an ETF, which is a traditional financial thing. All it really is you just have big institutions buying a lot of fucking Bitcoin and then putting it into this little package. It's like, here's an ETF. You can have this. And like people are like, yes, I will buy that now. So
yeah. Well, there's
that's
like
pretty
stocks. There's like ETFs, right?
It's like a stock.
But now basically they have it with.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. It's pretty cool to see. But I found that pretty interesting. Now, people, if they wanted to do that in the future, right, you don't have to have, you can now use Bitcoin as collateral to finance against that, basically. So I don't know if there would be, would there be credit checks? Would be like a good question, right? Like, would there actually be those types of checks? Would you even need to do that if you can see that someone's got $3, $4, $5, $6 million, in Bitcoin sitting there? They can verify, oh, that's yours. You can finance your house, essentially, this new home.
Right.
And if you default on your home payments, they would use your Bitcoin collateral and sell that essentially for what you didn't pay.
So you would just lose that.
Yeah. But I love the idea of that happening.
Which is, yeah, then if you do that and you use it as collateral, like you said, but the value of it, say, increases, and then if you don't make your payment, then they take
basically, yeah. I mean, how else? I mean, if you only had that as collateral, right?
Even right.
Yeah, if you only had that as collateral, then I don't know what else they would use, right? Because you're putting it up. It's like you put collateral up for anything that you're borrowing against, and if you don't make your payments, the challenge with that will be this: is that you don't make your payments, yeah, for sure. And if you don't make your payments, and whatever you end up defaulting on your loan, they're gonna liquidate some of it, probably not all of it, liquidate some of it to get back the money that you never paid. The other problem with that, though, is what if the Bitcoin price goes down?
Yeah,
you'll probably be the value of it's not the same as what it was before. So you're going to kind of be in like negative equity, essentially, where you probably have to put more Bitcoin onto it to get back to where it was before. That's kind of how it would work. Because it's worth less now, essentially, the thing that you were borrowing against. So I don't know. I found that article pretty interesting. I was just curious kind of like what that world would really look like and be a different way of approaching I guess, buying a home. You bought a home. I've never bought a home, so I don't really know the process, to be honest.
Yeah, so the process wasn't I mean it was pretty smooth because I was already living in the home at the time. So I was renting and then the owner decided to sell, and then I got the first kind of like that first opportunity to buy versus like them putting on the market, so they kind of gave a better deal.
Right.
Yeah, and then after that, it was just the same process as you would as far as like buying a home, where you have to send paperwork, do all that, which is a lot of paperwork. But yeah, after that, they give you the keys, which I already had them, and then that's it.
They gave you the keys before you were able to sign for anything.
Well, because I was already living there.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were one of those like basically just one of those typical, what do they call them, squatters over there on the West Coast, where they can like, you were just being one of those.
I just found out. I'm like, oh, this place looks nice.
I love the idea of that, of you walking down the street. You're like, I like that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one, please.
Ooh, a window's open.
Perfect. I don't even need to go through the door. They allowed me just to go right through the window. Okay, yeah, this is my living room now. Thank you so much. I don't really like how the furniture is set up, guys. You're like telling the owners, like, I don't really like how this is.
It's got like a big chair, medium chair, little chairs.
Yeah, can y'all fix this for me? Yeah, there's a Home Depot and there's a what's a good furniture store over there. There's an IKEA down the road. If y'all can go down there and get me some different chairs, maybe a better couch, I would appreciate that. You got California law is like, well, he was there. He showed up. He said it. So
it was there for like 2 minutes. So now it's his.
Okay, he kind of owns it now. Sorry.
He owns it. So you're at his mercy. You can set up a tent outside. His now.
That law can't still be in place. It's one of the most ridiculous laws. It's only, I think it's in California, maybe in Oregon, is where what is it? If you're there Oregon, for a long enough period of time, basically, it's like technically you don't have to leave. Squatters.
Yeah, it's like squatters' rights.
Yeah, squatters' rights.
Right? Squatters
in California. Let's see what it is now. I'm going to look it up. So they can potentially gain legal ownership of a property through a process called adverse possession. Adverse possession. Only if you meet specific requirements. Oh, you got to do it for continuous, open, and notorious occupation for 5 years. Huh. So yeah, it's kind of a long time.
For Oregon, it's 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, they occupy the property without the owner's permission, visibly, and treat it as their own. Yep. It's referred to as squatters' rights. But after 10 years, so if you find a building, or you're like a house out in the woods and you're just like nobody's there,
I guess so. For years. I mean, there's rural, I think there's probably rural areas where it's probably easier to get away with. I mean, maybe if you're in like a big city in LA, that could be hard to do. But I've heard stories about it.
I've heard people like squatting on rooftops of like, a Macy's or like a JCPenney or something or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, like people will like live on top of the rooftop and they're like, how did they even get up there? Or like there's another one, someone lived in the mall, but like in the walls of the mall, like this weird like section that he was able to get into.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
He was in the walls. Somehow
it was it was a sort of area that was cut off from like the normal mall, but like the walls were there. Got in there, some sort of, I don't know, like cubby thing that he found and just was like, this is home.
This is home. This feels right at home. Yeah, I mean, nothing says home more than Walmart. Walmart's home. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these little laws. I mean, even for that long period of time, like 5 years, 10 years, even then it's like, well, did they buy it? Like, did they put any money down? It says here they have to pay property taxes along the way. The squatter 5 or 10 years? What's up?
Is that before or after they're
while they're there, they have to continue to pay property taxes during that period.
They're not.
Yeah. Exactly. So even with these requirements, it's not a simple process. Owners can still evict squatters through legal means. So I heard that eviction
It
process
just
though is not easy though at all.
right. No, because yeah, they have rights as far as
I guess, but I don't know if you're.
There's
Go
a
ahead.
building here in town that we had. There's a building here in town where there was some squatters that were living right next to the street. It was a big building for like, I mean, I went in there. There was, you could probably fit like, I don't know, 5 different businesses in there. Anyways, there was yeah, some squatters that were there, and yeah, they lived there for a while before they even started moving out, and there was just a bunch of stuff that had to be taken out of the building.
Wow.
So you could just see like years of accumulation and like just random shit that was like stored in this building. You're just like, wow.
Shit. Yeah, I guess they just made their way in and then just set up camp and they're like, well, this is mine now.
Basically, yeah, basically. I mean, it was you not only were like think squatters have a reputation too to maybe be like hoarders or like have a lot of stuff. Maybe not all, but I think some might. This one definitely
Yeah.
was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. They brought in the whole family.
Probably through like trade and different things to to barter with other people to get stuff or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, shit, it's a bartering system. I mean, they can live that way, right? Which is kind of nice. I know I know it's not the same, but I know in prison they obviously don't have money really, so they just barter. They like, well, a big commodity there apparently is cigarettes. So they just
Right.
if people have cigarettes, you can trade
Still?
that for like, yeah. Read about the other day. Who was I reading about? I read about Mr. P Diddy.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
was reading about.
didn't he get, was it acquitted or like dropped? Cases
Oh,
dropped, but only like a couple went through that were less of an offense than the others. And he was like
back.
thanking the judge.
Yeah, I think they're like hugging, like broing it out, like "I'll see you later,
Yeah.
man," like that kind of shit. You're like, "This is definitely
Right,
corrupt.
right.
This is definitely totally
Yeah.
corrupt. Very obvious."
So
Yeah,
what did you hear on that?
I read a little bit about it. I didn't read too much. I honestly glazed over the part where it's the usual. I mean, you're reading it to be like, oh, he's gonna be convicted for all of those heinous crimes that were backed by evidence, backed by witness testimonies, all these things. But he's a celebrity
Videos
that
and
has
everything.
money. He had videos. He's a celebrity. He knows people. They know him. The classic shit. So I glossed over. Oh, he was acquitted of all these, but he got for these. And I'm like, I know the game. But I read a part.
Uh-huh.
So basically, from what I read, it was is what you said earlier of him. All the worst crimes he did not get convicted on. It was just the small stuff. Classic.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know too much about that case overall. I mean, I was just reading about his prison time, like his life in prison, essentially how that's going. And apparently it's pretty chill.
Mm.
People like him. People like him. And yeah, he's doing fine in there. I think he's got some friends and, they're just going out to the yard. Maybe he's having a different, some guys are working out. He's working out in his own way, right? With his friends there. It's what he tends to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So then he's still behind bars then, or he's still?
Yeah, I think what did he get? Let's go see what he got. He didn't get long. Let's see. P Diddy crime conviction. So it looks like he was guilty on 2 accounts of transporting individuals for prostitution, which is that's not a big deal at all. Well, it is a big deal, but it's a big deal. It's not a
deal. Yeah, the other.
Compared to what else he did, I'm like, come on. And then I'll see how long in prison. Looks like he got convicted on 2 counts. It carries a maximum sentence of 10 years, while acquitted. How many years did he get? A potential sentence. I guess he hasn't been officially sentenced. Could get at least 51 to 63 months. So what is that? It's like 5 years. He's already served time though, so that counts. For however long that is. It's been like a year or whatever. So he'll be out. Okay. He'll be out probably in 2 years. Is my guess. Pretty cool.
2-3 years, yeah.
Pretty cool. We got a cool justice system right there.
Yeah, that. Yeah, isn't there a bunch of like evidence for that? Yet that seems to be the case a lot of the times, huh? With like, it all comes down to money. It seems like
money and power,
which they go hand in hand.
They do, yeah. And when you know people, man, I mean, there's just no chance in that case. It was just like, oh yeah, like we followed the law and it was non-biased, and it's just not true. Not when those things happen. When a celebrity, if this was not a celebrity, right, not a celebrity and just some guy, same exact stuff, would it be the same results? Is the question.
Probably not. Though I don't know if it would be as high profile though either.
True. I mean, I'm just saying if we found that article somewhere randomly that it was like a similar act, would that?
Yeah, it would have been like, no, it would have been no question about it. Been like, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I was talking about him, the bartering system in prison. He was just basically bartering with other inmates, essentially using cigarettes. They all kind of use cigarettes, and there's other things too, like food, like certain types of food that's kind of good, whatever is considered good there. But they would trade that as well, because people. That's interesting. There's no real money being exchanged. It's just bartering.
Yeah, kind of how it used to be before currency was. Sure, I mean, I'm sure that's kind of like how it started. Right?
Yes.
You're trading goods.
Yeah, trading goods overall. Yeah, but Mr. P Diddy, I gotta say to him is that you're a bit weird. You're a bit weird. I don't know why you did all that stuff.
Yeah, like what was it, like 1,000 baby bottles or
of
oil,
and baby oil and
yeah.
I know that Justin Bieber and Mr. Diddy got pretty close. They got pretty close, apparently. Him and there's another rapper, I forget the guy's name. Some weird stuff that went down in those parties. Some really weird stuff. And I wasn't invited.
Speaking of parties,
yeah, we watched them pretty interesting the other day. I think it'd be kind of fun to talk on here.
Are you talking about the Fire Festival?
No, I was talking more about the party that existed during the 1930s and 40s in a country in Europe. Yeah.
Not a party. Got it.
It is a party to them.
A party. Yeah, it's a party, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a big old party for them back then.
What do you got?
Well, I don't know. I found it pretty interesting that, I was watching this thing around, I guess you could say it's around,
I remember.
Yeah, it's around some of the history that doesn't always get told, in our textbooks. Yes.
Specifically Coca-Cola during that?
Coca-Cola is an American company. They are American. And they sell a sweet, sweet drink that's full of all the best chemicals that you would want.
And sugar.
Oh, and sugar. And then before sugar, right, back in like early on, and this was 30s and 40s too, it had to still be around then. Yeah. So
yeah, why not?
They got rid of that. No, but I thought it was pretty interesting that from what I saw there, that Coca-Cola was involved in the Nazi party in a way. They weren't directly obviously supporting it, but their drinks were being sold in Germany. There was factories and plants in Germany that Coca-Cola owned and that were selling basically their products during that time.
Yes. No, yeah. And then from that, they created an entirely new beverage, basically.
Right.
So wasn't Hitler was really into Coke at the time, right? I mean,
his favorite drink.
I mean, Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it was his favorite. He didn't drink alcohol apparently.
Okay. Yeah.
Didn't drink alcohol. It just did all the other drugs that he found.
Yeah, I was gonna say did all the other things, but not alcohol.
Yeah, not alcohol.
Was his dad? Did his dad drink?
I don't know. I know that it's funny how Trump doesn't drink alcohol either. You see the tie? The same person. That was the Dems during the campaign. That's all they were doing. It was just like Trump, Hitler, same person. You're like, well, there's some qualities. Well, they're the same though.
Not the same, yeah.
There's qualities. Like that quality right there. He doesn't drink alcohol. He actually doesn't. Trump does not drink. And Hitler
because his brother. Yeah.
Say again?
Wasn't it his brother? Trump's brother died alcohol.
Yeah, he was an alcoholic, died of alcohol poisoning, I guess.
That's right.
So Trump he won't drink alcohol, but every night he eats like 2 fish fillet sandwiches from McDonald's and like 2 hamburgers, and like every night it's like that and like a Diet Coke or something, and then a milkshake.
Got to top it off. Yeah.
But no, to bring it back, I found it pretty interesting that because obviously Coca-Cola was popular back then in the 1910s, 1920s, and they were already expanding in all these markets. And the interesting thing really is that when World War II started, and then obviously it was the Axis versus the Allies, they were already operating in Germany. So that's the hard part. It's like, they're already operating. They're selling their product to this country that technically we're at war with, which created problems.
Yeah. I mean, I would say you're operating in a country that is the enemy that you're doing business in, but yet you've already like started there. So yeah, that's a very complicated like situation, for a company or a business.
What do you do? Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah. I mean, they're just operating there. It's not like that's their headquarters where they reside, right?
They did have a factory
during that time.
They had a factory there.
Okay.
And they were producing their product there. And actually, even I found out that during the 36 Olympics, they sponsored it, which I thought was pretty interesting. They were advertising, alongside swastikas at the same time. During the 1936 Olympics, where that famous video is of Hitler. He's in the stands. He has his own box with all his henchmen, and he's just like shaking.
And he's like, yeah. Drugs. He's just like, all the drugs. Yeah.
And he's got all those amphetamines in him. And he had a cocktail of different things. He had like his own pharmacist, basically, this doctor that would give him like his own cocktails of drugs.
Amphetamines.
A lot of amphetamines.
Yeah. So then you're saying the flag of Coca-Cola or Fanta?
Not Fanta. So Fanta is kind of what came out after all this. So Coca-Cola eventually, if I'm not mistaken, kind of stopped production. It's through some complications there. Some things had to be shut down eventually. I think it was after. Yeah, that's what it was. It was after Pearl Harbor hit. Because I'm not laughing. But the joke in my mind is this: is that in the 30s, right? He's before 41, right? The U.S. was not in the war yet. They weren't, right? But so American companies were like, we can still operate here. We're not involved in the war yet. So like, it's just this evil dictator that's going and like basically taking over all of these countries around them, taking over the people, doing horrible things to the people, enslavement camps, all these things, right? And then for an American company, we're like, they're still buying it. So we're going to keep operating. And then in 1941, Pearl Harbor, that's the turning point. When we're like, God, we cannot do business here now. Oh my God, not anymore. They hit American soil. The rules have changed, basically. And that's when they pulled Coke from Germany, was when we got hit.
I see. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So they pulled Coca-Cola then, which I thought was, okay, finally we do. That is such a fucking American thing right there, where they're still making money in a country where that what the crimes they're committing is terrible, but we're still like, oh, we can still operate there. It's cool.
Yeah. Like business as usual.
Business as usual, people.
Yeah. Just put the sign up. We're open.
Yeah, we're open. We're not really into this Nazi shit, by the way. Like a little line. We're not really into it, but buy our drinks. Buy our drinks.
Yeah. Huh. So then, now Fanta was created before 41. Then, is that correct?
It was right around that time. That's kind of when they started making the transition. Once Pearl Harbor hit, they removed Coke, so they had to come up with another alternative, essentially, that the people would like. And that's when Fanta really came around. And that's when it really started being produced in Germany. I think other countries as well, but it was mainly Germany at the time. And the name Fanta, I thought that was pretty cool, is named after fantasy. That's where it comes from, Fanta. The fantasy. The fantasy that I guess all of the Nazis were living kind of was a fantasy, if you think about it.
And dark fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And then in 1955, Fanta using citrus sugar, Italy reinvented it.
Yeah. Apparently, the Italian.
Coca-Cola. Sorry, Coca-Cola later claimed it had no connection to Nazi Germany, despite profiting from the operation.
For years. Like, oh, we had nothing to do with it. We were just kind of around.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. And then you're like flying the Coca-Cola flag next to the Nazi flag during the Olympics.
Yeah, during the Olympics. And you're essentially, you're like, we don't support this, but we're gonna advertise here and make money off of it.
Oh, it's aggressive international expansion in the 20s. Yeah, sponsored 1936 Berlin Olympics, advertised alongside swastikas, even showed up at Hitler youth rallies. Man, they were more into it than they say they were.
Yeah, we were like, oh, and then at the end, they're just like, what? Yeah, we had no idea what was going on.
Like, no, I'm sure you guys. Yeah.
Of course you did. That's American capitalism at its finest right there. Just finding ways to profit even when it's not ethical in any way. Yeah. But yeah, no, so Fanta did come about kind of after that time, right? When Coke was I guess they were just trying to find a different drink really and not affiliate with Coke.
Right. Wasn't it Hitler wanted something that was like an orange citrus flavor?
I think so, yeah.
Saw something
I think so.
Where he like more of an orange flavor to it.
Yeah, and at the time, since there weren't really, I guess probably Coke, and if there were any others at the time, pulled out, right, of Germany, there just weren't really many other alternatives. So a lot of people just started drinking this thing up, this Fanta. They were using it for cooking as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. Like they would put it in like soups and stews, things like that. I guess to sweeten it up. I don't know why. I can't imagine. Like, I guess you could just imagine like a German housewife cooking for her family, and she's just pouring Fanta into like a chicken noodle soup or something like that. They're like,
right. So then, would Fanta have survived if it wasn't born in a
totalitarian regime? Probably not, because it's everywhere now, right? We all have it. It's in every country, right? It's one of the most popular sodas. But I bet it would not have survived because I bet you it needed a lot of that, I guess, that consumption, right, during that time. Yeah.
So then they made it from Germany. Did it start in Germany and then it pushed out internationally to other countries?
That's what I gathered. Yeah, that's what I gathered. Because eventually it got pushed out. I know Italy soon after, and there was a few others, then obviously international now, and it's everywhere. And the high fructose corn syrup, I don't know when that really came about.
I want to say probably like the 60s, 70s. I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, they were going away from, or they wanted to sweeten it, and high fructose corn syrup is very cheap to produce.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's in everything now. It's really not good for you.
No. What did you say? What was the question?
It wasn't a question. It was just high fructose corn syrup is definitely not good for you. It's on every soda. It's in other types of like foods these days as well. And I think, I don't know when that really came about. Probably in the 70s, because I mean, the 50s, they were still using real sugar. Yeah.
Was first introduced in supply chain in the 70s. Initially used as a cheaper alternative to sugar and processed foods and beverages, its usage increased significantly in the 80s and 90s, which makes sense, reaching a peak in the late 90s. Since then, its use has declined somewhat, but it remains a common ingredient in many foods, which is true.
It is true. It's everywhere. It's a cheaper alternative. They're like, sugar, how about this? It's cheaper.
How about we just,
I was getting...
Structure is similar.
Say that again?
Or it's like the molecular structure of it.
Molecular structure. Molecular. It's hard to say. Molecular structure. There we go. Yeah, it's similar, but it's not the same. It's an alternative to a real thing.
Exactly. And it'll never be the same. You can never create an alternative, something that's not, it'll never be the same.
It's a synthetic alternative to the real thing, which is what the US does a lot. I was actually at my barber yesterday, and I'm in Colombia, and he was asking me, because we were talking about Americans and like how a lot of them are very large. And I said it has to do with portion sizes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say, like, when you're in your city, like the frequency of fast food, like how many fast food restaurants there is per square mile type of thing. And then lastly, I think it has to do with what's in our food.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good example.
Oh, that's a big thing. Yeah.
It's a good example.
What is in
High
our food?
fructose corn syrup is not real. It's in our food. But that's in our food.
Yeah.
Right. You go down to Mexico, you get a Mexican Coke. That shit's got real sugar in it.
Have they changed? I think it's still real sugar.
I hope they didn't change. Mexicans, hold on. Hold on.
Hold on that sugar. You guys love
Hold on
sugar.
to that, dude. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna drink it, which they do, they actually have a kind of a big issue with Coke down there. If you're gonna drink it, they do. Yeah, if you're gonna drink it, drink the real sugar at least. Like, at least.
Right. Yeah, Coca-Cola and Fanta is very popular there.
Yeah. Look at that. Maybe they got some ties to the Nazis as well. All the Mexicans I've met, they're super sweet. I hope they don't salute Mr. H.
No, the one that would be like where you would find some of that, I think, would be like Argentina and some of those smaller towns, villages.
True, yeah.
Where there's
That's
like
kind of the
German of like, you're like, huh. But,
that's what happened, right? I mean, there was like a big migration from what I read about. Yeah, from after World War II. A lot of them kind of escaped.
That was one of them, yeah, where a lot of them went. I'm sure there was other places that they, but yeah.
Yeah, I've always wondered about that. There's a lot of myths around Hitler being alive still, and he was down. He escaped to Argentina, basically. I find that funny because he'd be like 150 today. It's like, well, if he did, he's not there now. But no, I don't think so. I think they have evidence of him getting, he shot himself in that bunker.
Right. Or they took the cyanide pill or something. That's what I heard. They took some poison.
I thought he shot himself. Is that wrong?
No, he wouldn't go out like that. I think he took some poison.
He wouldn't go. I know him. All right. He's a good guy. All right. He would never do that. All right, David. You're on record. You're on record. No. For the record, David did not pledge his allegiance.
What was her name?
Ava.
So there's Ava. Ava. Right? There's a good video of her that I've seen where it details kind of her life, and she was into photography a lot, and so you get to see all these photos of like, early days up until like
interesting
later days. But yeah, it was interesting because, and then there was like when they were in Iceland. I guess he really liked Iceland.
Okay.
For some reason.
Yeah, I've never been there, but
vacation there. Iceland, yeah, me too.
Iceland's the old trick that they played, right? Where like on the Vikings played the trick on someone, I forget, where they said they named it Iceland so that people would not go there because it's too cold, but it's actually pretty green and habitable.
And then Greenland, right, and then Greenland to trick people to go there.
And I love the idea of the Viking just playing a prank. They're like, got him. Yeah. They ain't coming here. Got him. But what a nice time would it be back then to be able to just kind of name countries and play pranks on other oppositions, basically. Like, oh, yeah, it's Iceland. You don't want to go there. Too cold.
Too cold. You want to go to Iceland.
No, but yeah, Hitler did shoot himself.
Oh, he did.
Also took cyanide, but he also shot himself. So I guess he really wanted to get the job done.
I guess he just was like, all right, damn.
Just paranoid. He's like, it ain't enough. I got to shoot myself too. Cyanide's not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, she committed
back to Iceland. She did too?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
She did not shoot herself, though. She just took cyanide, which was interesting. So, well, they're not going to be missed. I'll say that much. No one misses them. Maybe a few people do, but I don't. There's
been a weird rise in that sort of world.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you're not here.
You tell me. You're like, yeah, I know all about it. I got the newsletter. And I'm like, okay, what's going on, David?
Yeah.
What are you not telling me? Subscribe to the
there's just been there's just been more. I mean, people seem to be more on board with that sort of movement, or back to like the, I don't know, it's weird, like almost like polarizing, or like with Hitler, and like making it seem okay now or something, and like it's driving like a bit, I don't know. I don't know, because I mean, I really don't know, but I just have seen that there is like, you'll see different.
Is it like a resurgence of basically people that follow that ideology type of thing?
I think there are some out there that do. Let's see.
I mean, there always has been. You said there's been a rise, which I'm curious about. Is there like a bigger rise
Maybe not
lately?
a rise. Maybe it's just. Oh no, I think it has been a bit of a rise, because it wasn't really like. I mean, it may have always been there. I guess nobody really. I mean, it's, yeah, but I feel like, yeah, there's been more of a movement in that. Let's see. How would I look? How would I even?
Well, I would love to see your search history after this. I think the FBI would as well. They're looking for. They're like getting your computer, like, yeah, Hitler's followers, where they are, how can I meet them? Where do they meet up on Tuesdays? You're like, what? David, I
Yeah, they
didn't
got
know this
Tuesday.
about you.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that. But yeah, like neo-Nazism, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of them are confused. They're a little too obsessed with the whites. I'm like, man, guys, still, there's a lot of different colors out there. Only white?
White, blue-eyed, yeah. Blonde, yeah. I mean, it is kind of crazy to think that there are people that are to have a mind where you're just so narrow to think like, oh, that has to be a one. I don't know, like everybody has to look like or be like this. Why would you want that? Why would you want
I
that?
don't know. That it's homogenous. That's the word. Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. Sometimes people get a little obsessed with, I guess, where they're from and the pride behind the history of their people, da 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 da. Where since you're not that, it's automatically you're not good or you're not one of us or whatever it is.
No, that's a good point. So like thinking of that, like most other countries that you've gone to, Colombia, Mexico, wherever else, there is a pride of those people from their history, their culture, their people, right? You feel it. It's there. Here in the US, like we've only been around for few hundred years, not even.
Right. Right.
And our history and culture is not the best. So when you're hooking onto that and you're trying to like fight for that, I don't know. It's a very like, you see what I'm saying? As far as like, where does, unless you go further back to like your ancestors in Europe, and you're like, okay, I see. I'm more from like this area or whatever before they migrated over.
Right.
But how far back do you go? I don't know.
I don't know either. I think people over time, though, I mean, it's always going to continue to happen. It's just tribalism. People want to be with their own kind, really, and it needs to be this side versus that side type of thing. And it's even as innocuous as it goes down to sports teams, where everyone's like, "Oh, I'm from Boston Red Sox," all the way, and they could be the worst fucking team ever. Like, no, man, I'm from Boston. My family's from Boston. My grandfather immigrated, all that shit, because they get obsessed where they're from, and there's so much pride connected to it. Where it's like, that's fine, man, but there are other people, and there are other areas, and there are other things to keep your mind open to. So that's what bothers me a lot with that stuff, and I guess that's what the Nazis are doing. They're not very open-minded people, are they?
No. Well, they were wanting to like, I guess exterminate and just create their own race to like what was that? What would it have been? Atlantis? The beings from Atlantis. Have you ever heard about that? Or you heard about Atlantis?
Yeah, is it like the underwater world?
Right. Well, it was like a nation or a civilization that was very advanced during time.
Yeah, really advanced, right? But then, it's under the sea essentially now.
Yeah, because of over time, the plates and everything, and something. Yeah, nobody really kind of knows, and it's a mystery as far as like even if it existed. But there's some evidence, but then it's one of those. But apparently, there's like these beings or something that helped create that civilization, and where were we? What was it? What were we just talking about as far as the?
You were talking about Atlantis, and You were saying that there's probably some external, like what, alien beings that they probably suggested that maybe helped that civilization advance. Is this correct?
Right. But what? Okay, I was going somewhere with that, but it's all right. It's
okay.
Back to Atlantis another time. Let's do that.
That's fine. No, we were just talking about closed-minded organizations, and then it was interesting to kind of explore the idea here of this, kind of forgotten history, really. It's like no one really talks about some of these stuff in the history books that we all grew up with, that technically speaking, Fanta, like the drink, was made in Nazi Germany originally. Like it was made then as an alternative to Coca-Cola after they pulled out. And one thing, it's like, well, all this evidence kind of points to it, though. So you probably did. You probably did. Yeah. And it was a very different time back then.
Things were a little bit more loose. I'm just kidding.
A little more loose. A little loose. Yeah, loosey-goosey back then with the fucking insane megalomaniac dictator that's trying to take over the world, which he is on a lot of drugs back then. His drug of choice obviously was the amphetamines, but he loved his Coca-Cola at the same time.
Right.
And I'd hope that you don't drink a Coke and want to go and dominate the world. I hope Coke doesn't. It's not their next slogan. Want to conquer?
I hope not.
Yeah. Have yourself an ice cold Coca-Cola.
It's sponsored by Fanta.
Sponsored by Fanta as well. Yeah. Yeah. But I found that pretty interesting. Good little story. I found out that, for the official record, neither one of us love that group. So got to keep that on camera. All that was jokes, people.
Yeah.
We like to make jokes sometimes.
Yeah.
We do not support or condone this party. That's for our lawyers.
Or Fanta.
Or Fanta. I love that fine print. By the way, that was a lie. We actually do just like so fast. You're like, wait, what was that last part?
Yeah, I didn't catch all that. Yeah, you didn't need to. Don't worry about it.
You need to. Yeah, don't worry about it. All right. Anyway, moving on.
It's like when you're going on your phone and you have to accept all the terms and conditions, and you're just like, "Yep, all right, next." Like, wait, what was the part?
Next. Wait, hold on a second. What was the last part? Yeah. Like, do you accept these terms? Yeah, or do you not? I loved, the ones when you open apps now, they're asking, do you want this app to track you? Allow or ask app not to track, and it's like, well,
I would prefer you not to.
I would prefer to have my data out there and being sold to all these big companies. Yeah, well, I gotta admit, in straight up honesty right now, as we do these eps, I'm loving the flow. We gotta figure out a nice little ending segment that can be fun, and we're trying to explore that right now. So I think it'd be fun to try something, but maybe when we get bigger, we can have people comment and give us ideas, right? To fill a little fun segment right now. But I don't have anything.
I can't think of anything right now.
I think there's gonna be something fun we can do over time. Yeah.
I think so.
Our listeners will grow with us, assuming we have any views whatsoever one day. But we'll figure out something fun. I was thinking some sort of sketch idea could be a lot of fun. Maybe we come up with like a fun idea for a sketch. Could be related to maybe the theme of the ep, but some sort of sketch we could create, not necessarily act out, but maybe we could create the sketch from scratch, right? How it would go, the flow of it. That could be fun. Very imaginative.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
No, I don't think of anything. Yeah. Well, we're going to do that another day, friends. It's been a good ep. And the next one, we're going to be kind of diving into our beautiful, big, beautiful, terrific, the best country ever, the best country. Talking about our obsession with buying shit. We buy a lot of shit.
Yeah,
we buy a lot of shit. And
just
consume. So on the next, we're going to kind of dive into that and have a good time doing it. All right.
Yes, definitely.
We'll see y'all.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Until next time. Bye-bye.